Well, hello there. This is Glenn Greenidge and Tom Pope, and today we're having a conversation. Aren't we responsible for the immigrants that show up? We've got a critical conversation here in New York City as we get busloads of immigrants on a daily basis. What, Tom, are your thoughts about this?
Well, first of all, when we think of the immigrants who are basically coming from South America, um, we hear nothing about why there is such an influx. They're painted as criminals, and yet most of them are fleeing countries that have death squads set up by America. The United Fruit Company and many other corporations are so afraid of any land distribution in South America that it has pressured our country for decades. We once had the School of the Americas in Georgia training death squads in El Salvador, um, Central America. This continues today. So we have these people terrorized, fleeing out of their homes. If this is happening because of what we've put in place, don't we have responsibility?
I absolutely agree. I absolutely and the other the other part of it for me is these drug cartels who understand the power of the dollar, the power of the drug trafficking industry, and how much money they can make in the Americas. And so they are squeezing the local South Americans to be able to traffic and bring the drugs up to the United States. And of course, some of the families are getting caught up in it because if you don't join the cartel, then you're terrorized. So that's certainly part of the conversation as well. Is you're trying to escape freedom, escape the to freedom, I should say, and you're trying to get away from these just horrible administrations that are just out to control and kill and maim and don't really care about anything except money.
Now, one added feature is your comment about the power of the dollar. Now, everything in terms of how people perceive the immigrant is focused on what the resident of a local community is losing because an immigrant is coming into his area. All of this is framed, NIMBY, not in my backyard, is framed by, I'm afraid I'm losing something. This is a criminal coming into my area or taking my job. All of this NIMBY mentality has come about because America is fixated about the dollar, and the dollar is driving everything. Look at TV ads. Look at how our society cares more about the dollar and property than human life. Now, what if we were like the poor in the favelas around the globe in
Hmm.
a slum thatched house somewhere on the outskirts of a major city? Look at what happens there when someone has the chance of getting a temporary job. The whole area takes care of the children. There isn't this enmity about, I'm losing something. There's a sharing going on. We don't have that in America because of NIMBY. Everything is focused on the self. It's not focused on how we work together.
Well, you're absolutely right, and it's this working together that fosters further development and further expansion. as opposed to a contractive you're taken away from. It's an opportunity to build as we build together because there's so many things and services that are not being satisfied that could be satisfied by this new uh, possible employment of and utilization of these folks. Because the thing that I'm clear about, um, most of them want to work. They come here to work, and I think that that's been a missed opportunity for us in from the beginning, is not getting them on board and giving them Social Security numbers so that they can add to the system rather than being paid under the table, where no benefits are being taken out, but yet they're um, they're taxing the resources of the city, be it the sewer, be it the sanitation, be the housing, all the different areas that the services, the hospital services, all those services are still providing the resources with a depleted income source or tax base source.
So if this is a management issue, why spend money on building a wall? Why not use that money and create extra jobs in the immigration department, customs, so that everything can be sped up quicker?
Mm-hmm.
We have the ability to vet people. It's not a question of allowing criminals. Rather, it's a question of letting people wait for 10 years before they can find naturalization. Well, let's speed that up. They're understaffed.
Yeah.
Why build a wall? Let's create some way of working together.
Well, I look at the construction sites, and when you look at the various construction sites, there are laborers that they're looking for. They're always looking for laborers. That industry alone can help to suffice because we're booming here in terms of building. And so there's always jobs that are available around the building industry and so many other industries. So I think it's a shame if we're not utilizing people who want to work. Now, yes, I understand there are some criminal types that are coming in and are you always have bad players. We had bad players before any immigrants came, and we will continue to have bad players going forward. But it's always just a few that make it bad for everybody else. So I think we can have a more focused approach if we are going to, use law
Well,
enforcement.
this ties in with foreign policy. We're still employing the policy of any group in South America that decides to talk about land reform so that people have their own ability to make economics work for them. Any land reform is considered a problem for big US corporations. And we try to shut that down. That brings into play fascist types of governments and it overthrows the will of the people.
Right.
We have a boycott right now dealing with Chile.
Hmm.
We have the situation all over South America. We should be aiding those land reform movements, not discouraging them.
Exactly. No, I completely agree with you because it's about empowering the people. I mean, we can take this conversation all the way back to the serfs in England. You know, um, you know, couldn't control the land except for the rich, the royalty who controlled the land, who controlled the wealth, controlled the money, and the people who worked the land could barely survive.
A big dispute in the 1600s with England with the Enclosure Acts. People came together to use common land for their crop, rather for their animals to graze on, when suddenly that was shut down by the nobility.
Yes.
creating a problem.
Hmm. Hmm. So what's the lesson that we should be learning from history as we go into this issue there, Tom?
Well, the lesson is we can't be America unless we decide on the ideals of America. Why don't we work together, not as an establishment, but as a proactive force for setting people free?
Well said. Well said. Work together. Let's focus on working together and impacting the entire solution and not just a portion of it or a portion that we think needs to be fixed.
Yesterday was Dr. King's birthday.
Hmm.
He once said that we can't be ourselves unless others reach their potential. What hurts them hurts me.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well said.
If you like what you're listening to, check us out on Facebook. That's Community and Social Change on Facebook.
Thank you.